The number of rioters arrested and charged from the January 6th Trump insurrectionist riots is growing and growing and growing. And there is a very interesting story, well reported in the New York Times, about a guy named Jackson Reffitt. And Jackson Reffitt knew that his dad, Guy Reffitt, was in Washington, D.C. for the riots. And 2 days after the riots on January 6th, Guy Reffitt returned home to the family's house in Texas. And he told his son, I was there. I was there on January 6th. I stormed the Capitol. And Guy threatened his own son, Jackson, and said, Jackson's 18. Jackson, if you report me to the police, I'm going to have no choice but to do my duty for this country and, quote, do what I have to do. Jackson went to the FBI, and Jackson told investigators that his dad had been there and that he stormed the Capitol and that he threatened him and said, if you turn me in, you're a traitor and traitors get shot. Incredibly, this was not the first contact that Jackson had with the FBI about his dad. Weeks before the riot, Jackson went to the FBI and said, my dad keeps telling me he's going to do something big. And this is yet another one of those instances where we find out, and again, the FBI, very busy with reports all the time. The FBI is getting reports from all sorts of different people all the time about different things. But this is not a guy who no one thought maybe had the capacity to do this. Jackson Reffitt had already told law enforcement that his dad was claiming he was going to do something big. Guy Reffitt's wife said to investigators after the riot that Guy is a member of the Three Percenters. This is a far-right militia group, according to the FBI affidavit. When FBI agents went to the Reffitt house, they found an AR-15 rifle and a pistol. And the elder Reffitt told investigators, I did bring the pistol with me to Washington, where he is, as far as we know, not licensed to have a weapon. And this is an incredible story because this is a story about so many things. Number one, it's yet another one of these stories of, hey, we told authorities in advance and they failed to do something. That is a story that has been told many times, and we could devote an hour to that on its own, limited resources, et cetera, et cetera. This is also an incredible story about a kid, legally now an adult, 18, but someone who has been observing their father mostly as a kid, knowing that their dad was up to no good. And because politics tends to run in families, the kids tend to have the same political beliefs as the parents. The reality that Jackson not only recognized that what his dad was doing was wrong, actually had the, I don't know if I would call it audacity, but maybe it's strength, maybe the conviction to say it's more important that I tell the police what it is my dad is doing, even though he's my dad. And we don't know whether the FBI did anything at all about the reports that came in prior to the January 6th riot. We know that federal investigators contacted him during the riots, contacted the son during the riots to follow up on the tips from weeks earlier and said, we need your help to prove what we're now trying to investigate. And it is an unbelievable, I get calls all the time about my family disagrees with me and they voted for Trump and I didn't. And I just want to talk to them and try to talk sense into them. This is like another layer altogether. And I think many of us, listen, I would like to think that if one of my parents was involved in something like this, I would go to the authorities. Am I sure that I would? Listen, if it was murder, yeah, I would. I don't know what the line is for me. And so imagining being in Jackson Reffitt's position is just incredible. And now, of course, the elder Reffitt is going to have to face the consequences, partially as a result of the fact that his son did the right thing. And think about the bizarre nature of the times we are living in. The traditional trope is the parents worry about what's my kid doing on the internet. Is my kid getting radicalized on the internet? I don't know. Started spending a lot of time in their room, typically his room. It's typically men, not women, spending time in his room on the internet, and then had all these ideas. And I don't know what was going on. This is a reversal. Kids are having to make the decision to turn their parents in when their parents have become radicalized by, internet news media messages. Truly unbelievable times that we live in, not an easy position to be in. And we will ultimately see at the tail end of this how many of the charges stick and how many people are actually held accountable and suffer a consequence for what they did. A lot of these cases are going to be difficult to prove in terms of the most serious charges that could be brought. We already talked about sedition and other charges that require proving intent, and that's going to be tough. So Jackson Reffitt doing the right thing. Let's hope it actually leads to charges that stick, because clearly Guy Reffitt, a very, very dangerous guy. Let me know your thoughts about this. And it really is tragic. I don't see this and say, ha, ha, ha. I see this and say, wow, a family member placed in an impossible position about their parent because of the radicalization coming as a result of this Trump cult that has taken place. Let me know what you think. I'm on Twitter at @Pakman. If you are anything like me, you probably aren't thrilled with the idea of going into a doctor's office right now. And thankfully, there's a practical and affordable way to take control of your health and get personalized care from the comfort of your home. It's a service called SteadyMD. They're one of our sponsors. You take a quiz, you get matched with a licensed primary care physician who understands your health needs. You have a 1-hour video call with your new doctor. You establish a meaningful relationship with them. And after that, your doctor is available to you anytime by text, phone, or video chat. This is not a random doctor on call. Each doctor at SteadyMD has a limited number of patients, so they actually have time to listen to you. You get the personal attention that you deserve. They can do almost everything an in-person doctor can do: perform medical evaluations, talk to you about health concerns, send prescriptions to your home or local pharmacy, and anything they can't do online, they'll quickly set you up with an in-person provider to do, things like blood tests, as an example. You don't need insurance. It's only $99 a month with no other fees or copays. I took their quiz. They matched me with a doctor who specializes in my particular health needs and situation. The doctor they gave me is a really perfect fit for me and my medical needs. They have a special offer only for my audience. You'll get 50% off your first month, but only until January 31st. So make sure to sign up soon. Click the link right underneath this video.